Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome to another episode of Smoking, Grilling, Dutch Oven, Pit, and Survival. I'm pretty sure this this show here is going to look a little better than some of the other ones. I'm not sure. um, I got a lot to cover today for survival. Uh, I was going through a lot of videos and different videos, and I got a thing here. I've got a list of things that you should have for survival if you're going to be gone 3, 4, 7 days, whatever. And I'm going to go through them pretty fast. And the first thing on my list is, well, let me read you the seven main things, the classifications of a survival kit. You got fire. You have to have fire first thing. If you're out in any kind of situation, if it's starting to get cold or if you're wet, and you got to have fire. Water, you got to have some source of water. Now, with the water, you're probably going to have to go out to a creek or a river or a pond or whatever and get your own water in a container. But we're going to go into that as far as how to purify that water. Unless you've got a couple gallons of 3 gallons of water with you, you're going to need to figure out how to clear up the water before you can drink it. Next one is shelter. That's not a shelter is not that hard to come up with. Chances are you might even find a big shade tree if you're out there where there's woods. But if you're not, you're going to need some other things. Signaling. You're going to need some way to signal. So if there's any rescue people out there looking for you, they can see or hear you. And navigation, that would come in handy to have a compass, maybe a map. If you're not familiar with the area, a map would come in handy. If you learn different skills on how to read a map with a compass, I mean, a lot of people have their GPS on their phone, but what if you're in an area where you don't have signal or your battery in your phone goes dead? Going to have to rely on the old timers way of a compass and a map. The medical, you're going to need some kind of medical. And for that, Band-Aids, gauze, not ibuprofen. Well, yeah, ibuprofen because it's going to give you a headache trying to figure your way out of there. What do you call that? Cream, that 3-in-1 cream, antibiotics, food. Well, unless you brought a whole box of candy bars or can of tuna or some sardines or Spam, something like that, you're not going to have that out there either. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. I have got me a kit built, and it's too big to set up here where you can see it. It's one of these plastic totes with the lid that snaps over to hold it. It's probably about that. It's probably about as wide as a screen here, or as long, and probably about that wide. And I'd say it's about that deep. Now this is what you need when you know you're going to have to leave. It's not one of these you just pack it up and carry it with you everywhere you go. But I do have it kind of knocked down a little bit to where I use this coffee can. Okay. And in this coffee can, I'm going to show you all the stuff I got in that. It is full. Okay. It's not very heavy. but it is full. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Now, if we go back to the fire, uh, we have different things here to start a fire. First, we have a big lighter. And anybody can go to any store. I mean, a gas station, dollar store, Walmart, Lowe's, anywhere, and buy big lighters. Ferro rod. Now, a ferro rod is just a little rod like this, and you can shave. You can shave some shavings off of here, and then if you turn it around, right here you have a striker, and you can see that striker or not. It's just a little bar. Thought maybe you could see it better if I did it. It's not going to show it. Anyway, there's a little bar on there, and you can strike that with anything that's steel. My pocket knife, well, my belt knife. This is my knife I carry with me on my belt everywhere. The back of it is flat, and it's just plain flat. It's not got the curve, going around it like most knives do. And that knife will strike this ferro rod, and get it on there. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to watch the camera and you too. Scratch that off your list. Let me go to my big knife. This is also my belt knife. And it's just a cheap knife. It's what is the name on that? Ozark Trail. Got it at Walmart. It was like $7. This knife here was like $35, and it won't strike it. But my Ozark Trail knife, you can see it get back there. I don't burn my computer up. Yeah, see that spark? Woo! Okay, that is what you call ferro rod. Okay, now I always carry that if I'm going out in the wild or in the woods or in the desert, wherever, because that makes a good knife for skinning, cleaning, and cutting up your game. It's like I said, it's cheap, but it gets the job done. Then my regular pocket knife that I carry on my belt, it's a lock blade. It's a magnet down in here somewhere that holds that when you hit. Anyway, it's a lock blade. I always carry that everywhere, day and night. Well, I don't carry it at night. I leave it on my belt when I take my pants off. Anyway, moving on. Here's the sheath to a knife, a big knife, and it's got the slot here for the knife, and then it's got the slot here for the ferro rod. Just kind of slide that in there like that, and then you just slip the knife in there like that. Okay. Now, some more fire starters. I have the old independent little Android can here, but this here is a good one also. And inside this little can, I have this little maid jobber. Okay, this one here. Now that This piece here is just a pop can that I cut out and rolled up into a little roll. And this is just off of a mop, cotton mop. You probably all remember them. They're the old time mops. You can still buy them. But if you know anybody that has a mop, sneak into their closet or wherever they keep that mop at and just clip off. You don't even have to have the whole piece. Just clip off whatever amount you want, load it up, stick it in your pocket. They'll never miss it. But anyway, you take that mop cloth and you warm up some wax, some of that paraffin wax, and you dip that in there and let it soak for a minute. Take it out and lay it on a paper towel. Let it cool off. And when it dries, you got you a wick. Okay? Now, you can light this wick. Let's bring it back up here where it's at. And when you light that wick, you have a flame. And you can push that up too to get more. But you have a flame there that will burn almost forever. And when you go to put it out, you just slide it back down inside there a little bit. You can see, you can't see the smoke, but it's smoking. The smoke put it out. Now that I carry several of them. And then I have this fire starting block. And it's get the weird light. Just a little. I broke this one in half. I think it's half. Yeah, but you can crumble it. You can break it. You can do whatever you want with it. Get some smaller parts, and then with that you can use the ferro rod to spark a light on that. This also makes a good ferro rod striker. Hacksaw blade cut up and broken in half. Okay. Also, if you can even use this part, the teeth part, if you need to cut you some twigs or some small branches. I mean, it's a survival. Hi, Debbie. I see you there. But this works the same way as a knife. And if you take your ferro rod and let's back it up here, let's get it on the bar. Where's the bar? One bar. Bar. Aha. Aha. Another fail. Okay. So on we go. I know there's I'll show you later when I get my other parts out here. I've got another piece that works on that, but it's in my can. This here, steel wool. I've got one piece of steel wool in here, pretty thick size. It's they come in a pack, and there's probably a dozen pouches of them in that pack. I just got it wrapped up in aluminum foil to keep it from getting everywhere. Steel wool. If you have some things to go with this, say for instance, I got this little pouch here just full of, you see them cotton balls in there? Them have been soaked, or not soaked, but I had rubbed them with alcohol, or no, let me take that back, Vaseline. And each cotton ball has been fully, saturated with Vaseline. Now, if you take one of these, or even a half of one of these, and you lay it down, You take your piece of steel wool. No, not very big. You can tear you off a chunk. And if you've got a 9-volt battery, you can just, the 2 prongs, the square battery with 2 prongs, you can take that and touch it to that steel wool, and it will light up enough to ignite the cotton balls. Okay? But you got to have your little twigs and sticks and logs and everything ready to go, because the fire's not going to last very long. So you need some kindling and all that stuff ready to put on that when it starts, so they'll catch on fire. Now, with that, where am I? Okay. Also, with your ferro rod, I've got some of these don't tell my wife, but I stole one of her washcloths. Anyway, washcloth, t-shirt, underwear, socks, anything that's 100% cotton. The tighter the weave is in it, the better it works for you. This is a this is a trick and a half. I got another Altoid can here, and if you can see it, I've got a hole right in the middle of this hole there. There it is. I just poked a little hole in that, and you can see that it's well charred and burnt. But inside, I put these in there, and I just pack them in. It don't have to be like only 2 or 3. You can pack them in there, and close the lid and put it in the fire, and let it get burning. Smoke will start coming out of the hole. And then you might even see a little flame come out of the hole. But after the flame goes out, they're done. And what you have is this. It's the same thing. It's that char cloth. Now it's called char cloth. A while ago, it's called my wife's dishcloth. Dish towel, dish rag, whatever. I'm not going to cut my underwear up for that. But if you're in an emergency, definitely, if you got a 100% cotton sock or underwear or anything that's 100% cotton, t-shirt, cut you a square piece or 2 off, put it in that Altoid can. Now you don't want to, as soon as that's done burning and the flame goes out, you don't take it off the fire and open it up. 1, it's hot. 2, you know what you need for fire? You need air. One of the things you need is air. Now, if you open that up and that's still hot inside, it'll flame up because it's getting oxygen. So you want to set it offside, let it cool off 5 minutes or whatever, and then you can open it up. And I would still open it up out here on the side of the can like that, and make sure it doesn't flare up flame. But anyway, that will catch anything from, you can use your lighter, but most of the time if you're using them, you don't have a lighter. So the ferro rod, a couple strikes of that ferro rod on there, and you'll get an ember. You'll get one of those on there. And then you can lay that down with, anything, real fine kindling or feather stick. I'll get to that in a minute. But you lay that on there and it'll catch on fire. They're good with this cotton, these Vaseline soaked cotton balls. Then the old handy stick match. You can buy these little containers pretty much anywhere, and it's full of stick matches. And then there's a striker on the bottom. I think they put it on the side now, where you can actually strike the match on there. It's got a little rubber O-ring around it, keeps it waterproof. Drop it in a lake or something, it'll float. Um, this is an oldie. Some of you might have seen these. I don't know. It's a Forever Light, they call it. It's got a little hook there. You do whatever you want with it. But it's got a little striker here on the side. And what you do is you unscrew this and you fill the hole up with lighter fluid. And then after it gets filled up, you just put that back in there and you're ready to go. And when you need a light, it almost works like the ferro rod. You take that out and you might see some sparks. I don't have any lighter fluid in it, but you can, might not be able to see them. There's one. Oh, it does work. Yeah, I haven't had that out. And that's amazing. This thing has been laying around for 5 years, 6 years, something like that, and it's still got the lighter fluid in it. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, man. Yeah, I am. Another thing, and I've got this in a little pouch so it don't get scratched up. So this is for the days where the sun's out. I bet y'all know what it is already. Magnifying glass. Woo, look at that go. A magnifying glass. What it is, I bought this, I don't know, it was like 50 cents or whatever. It had a handle on it right here, like this, where you could hold that handle and use it to magnify what you're reading. And I took a little hacksaw and I filed that off and make it nice and smooth, because you don't need the handle out there, and it's just going to be that much longer. And where this way it's only this big, and put it in this little velvet felt, whatever case, so it doesn't get scratched up. And then I just took the string, some regular string, and that little keeper there on the end, and a little push button thing to keep it from falling out. This little keeper thing, you've seen them. There are a lot of them on a jacket or something. You just push the button and slide it down to where it's tight as you want it. So that is a daytime. That's only a daytime survival, but at least you'll have it if you happen to be out there somewhere where it is a lot of sun shining. You can use it to light your matches if they won't light. It'll light everything, anything, paper, toilet paper. That's another thing on my list is toilet paper. Don't forget TP. And it works good. Now, here's a bag full of them sticks I was telling you about. I got 1, 2, 3, 3 of them in there. I can build a fire with them for probably I can get 8 to 10 chunks off of that one. So, if you're going to eat twice a day, I got enough in that one chunk to last me almost a month. So, that's that. And they always carry me. I mean, this is my latest shoestrings. I just bought me some new ones the other day, and this is for boots. So, it's very long shoestring. I think it's 140 inches. And oh man, what you could do with that. If you had to, if you want to make a fire and you need a tripod to cook over, This is what you need to lash down the tripod to where you got the two sticks and the one in the middle there. Okay, you know what a tripod is. So I got two of those, and let me get some of this out of the way here. But this Vaseline soap cotton balls is what I recommend the most of carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You cut them in half or pull them apart. That's almost a month right there supply for fire. That is a must. You can order them online. I got this one for free. All I had to do is pay shipping. I think it was like $1.50. You can buy them through different places, anywhere from 99 cents up to $6 for the rip offers. But that is amazing. And then your steel wool. There's another trick with steel wool and a gum wrapper. The old steel gum wrappers, the aluminum, you take off your gum. You could cut one of them a certain way. I'll get into that maybe some other time. And then hold one end on one side of your battery and the other end on the other side of the battery. And you narrow it in the middle so it's smaller. And that will start a fire on whatever you want to do that with. But I don't have anything to show you that with. The only gum I have has got the paper cover on it, and that don't work. So there you go with all of that. And I've got some more of those little fire starting logs. It's all brittle and broke up, so because I don't need that much. I probably got enough in this little pill bag here to light 10 fires, if the wind not blowing. Anyway, but yeah, like I say, here's another one of those wicks I was showing you a while ago. It's just you can see it's a Dr. Pepper. I cut the can about that wide, and I don't know, just about that long enough to wrap it around maybe twice, and then it'll slide up and down in there, and then light that. You got you a flame, and it'll burn forever. And if it doesn't, just slide it up a little bit more. Then when you get ready to shut it off, you just slide this back down past there. And you don't have no more oxygen, so it goes out. And that is... I like new ways of finding ways of starting fires. I'm not a firebug, but this here is the best thing to have. But if your lighter gets wet, now there's other ways. Your lighter gets wet, you can dry it off, and you can tap it on your hand like that about a dozen times. You blow on it a couple times. If that still don't work, you can turn the little thing here, blow on it, tap it some more. Pretty soon you're going to get fire. Now, if your lighter is out completely, no fire at all. All you get is sparks. I can't do it with this one because it's got fuel in it. But if it's completely out of sparks and you've got some real fine dead leaves, and you just take your leaf and put it in your hand and you crumble it all up, like this, and almost make powder out of it. Then you take that powder. Now this is my child safety thing is missing. Don't tell Bick I did this. But I popped that off, so there's no safety thing for children. But you take that powdered up leaf, and you stuff it down in there, and you're going to get just enough spark can't do it. But you're just going to get just enough spark to catch an ember on that leaf. And then you take it, transfer it over onto the char cloth or onto the cotton ball. And then you got a fire. I know I'm spending a lot of time on the fire part, so I'm going to have to get off of that. And until a little bit later, I got something else to show you about it. Anyway, that was my fire. Now, next is water. What am I going to do for water? Well, one thing I've got in there are some of these cups. I got like 4 of them in there. And I shove a paper towel down there to keep dirt from getting in it. But I also have my mug with the spill-proof spout on it. And that comes in real handy. Now, once you get your fire going, and I'll show you in a little bit what you can use for your water to heat it up with. But I also have a package here. I've got some packaged sugar. I got some tea. And that's enough. I don't know. For me, that would last. I got 6, I think, of each in there. And that would last me about 3 days. I could put more in it. But this little container here is my coffee. Now, if you notice, I got these lines on it. And they're not straight. They're not an even line. I mean, no, one line. Where is this? There it is. One line is thicker than the other here. But as they get small, medium, large, larger, that's the way the container is. Each line is an exact 1 tablespoon of coffee. So if I'm going to make coffee, I can just take it and shake it out until it gets to that line. And I know I got the right amount in there for a cup of coffee. Okay. I have an emergency blanket. These things are super. It's almost like foil. But this one here, 84 by 52 inches. So that would completely cover me up. This is the size of a sleeping bag. And if you put it over you, if it's cold out, you put that over you and it keeps you warm. It reflects the sun. It draws in the heat. And, of course, we've got a 2-way radio. And I always take the batteries out because they'll stay a lot fresher out of the radio than if they was in the radio. It's FRS. I think it's right. FRS. Anyway, there's like 27 channels, and each channel has certain channels on each channel. You know, I mean, you can get a hold of anybody on one of them if somebody else has got one. Rescue, they should have one. If you're trying to call for help, they should be able to hear you on one of them channels. Chances are they're probably scanning it to see who's on the channel. But I got that. Electrical tape. Just a roll of electrical tape come in handy for who knows what. I mean, you can use it for anything. And then get back to the shelter. Now let's skip the shelter for now. We got the signaling. Almost all of it. I showed you the mirror. No, I didn't either. That's in my little container. Okay, water bottle, water filter, purifying tablets, bandana, boiling pot. Now, all that come in handy. I have this, and it's pronounced Katadyn. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But anyway, there you go. Katadyn. And this is something simple. Um, you have two hoses. One is pulls the water out into your container. This one here pulls the water in from the creek or wherever. And if you see right here, this is it's a little filter. It's got a filter on the end of it, and it's got a little cork here to keep it from hitting the mud. But this is so easy. This is it right here. You pop these little rubber things off. Let's see. It's been a while since I had this out. There's two little rubber things here that keeps the things in. But anyway, you hook the line in here that you're going to put in the water. No, yeah, yeah. And then on the top here, you put the line in that's going to go into your container. And you just sit there and pump it. It's like simple. You can pump a 2 liter of water in about 3 minutes. And that takes care of all your bacteria and all your everything. You could drink water. I've drank water out of the Ohio River with this. And I would not be afraid to drink water out of a toilet if it had been flushed. Yeah, if it had been flushed, I would not be afraid to drink water out of the toilet with this. It's really high in filter in the water. Well, I might as well show you that too. And these filters are rechangeable, replaceable. There's the filter. And it's got a little screen, catch big stuff, and it's got the other filter, and then there's some other stuff inside of that. Just put that back in there. Screw it back down in there. And it'll stop when it gets to the end. It's tight, watertight. Okay. Now, if you don't have one of these, you have to go to the old boil the water. And we'll get to that in a minute too. On the first aid, that was on the list there. Yeah, medical band-aids. Kind of different creams and things and stuff. Well, I've got this Sawyer first aid kit, and you can see I overstuffed it. It's not supposed to be this thick, but I've got everything in there. I even have a tube of super glue in there. You get cut out there, the band-aid ain't big enough to stop it. Super glue it. It's been tested. It's been known to work. It's efficient. You just well, if you have to, if you can't hold your cut, tight and put it on at the same time, take a Band-Aid and put it on your arm. Okay, let me see. Put it on your arm and stretch it way out here, and then put it back on. That will draw that wound tight, and you start putting some super glue on it. Let it dry. There you go. Save your life. Now I do a lot of geocaching, and I've got some bison tubes. Yeah, little bison tubes there. I got that gold one. I got the silver one. Yeah, and here's what I got in it. This one here maybe come in handy. Stool softeners. You just unscrew the cap, and there's your stool softeners in there. That one was really overpacked. I'm gonna get that back together today. Oh, I'm gonna leave it out because the cats are in here. Give them a stool softener and they'll be cussing me out. All right, I got one stuck in. That's why it wouldn't work. There we go. There we go. Bear with me. Of course, if you have to open that to take a couple of them. Wow. You're not going to have to worry about not getting the lid back on because there'll be a couple missing. I get it later. But anyway, this one here. IBP. That stands for Intelligent Bureau of... No, ibuprofen. And this is going to be a little easier to get back in because I've just got the little round ones. IBP. So I got that. Because like I said, you get out there and you get lost, you don't know what to do, and you're trying to think, you're going to get a headache. So that will take care of it. Germ-X. Got some Germ-X. You need that out there. You don't know what you're going to be picking up and grabbing. It's just handy to have. Afterbite. Gotta have some Afterbite. This is the cream type. It's not the liquid. I've got a liquid one where it's got a little felt tip and a hole in it. And you just turn it upside down and you rub it on your hand or your arm or whatever, you're on your face. But it's got so much ammonia in it. Oh, man. I can't hardly stand the smell. After I put that on, I have to fan it away from me. I'm allergic to ammonia. It made me pass out. But this is a cream here. So I've got that. Binoculars. Very small. And these, okay, let's find the front of them here. There we go. These, you just fold them out. Aha, hi. Okay, and they got the string on them for, you undo the string, put it around your neck. So that might help you too, because you're going to be looking to see what's in the area that you recognize, or will let you know what direction you're going. And it's just nice. And it's got a loop on the back. You can put it on your belt. I have Nu Skin. And Nu Skin is just a bottle of liquid with a brush. It kind of reminds me of fingernail polish remover. It even has that kind of that smell to it. You take that and just brush it over your cut or whatever. And it's 2, maybe 3 times a day you have to put that on. And to get it off is a chore. I'm sitting there and I'm peeling and picking and couldn't get that stuff off there. And I read the directions. If at first you don't succeed, read the instructions. It says to remove, put a new coat on, and then take a rag and wipe it off, and the rest of it comes off with it. I mean, that's simple as can be. Flashlight. I got one with the binary. I can clip it on my belt if I wanted to. But anyway, this flashlight, it's just a small one. It takes 3 AAA batteries. I think I gave $3 for 2 of them, and it is bright as it can be. And then I got some extra batteries for that too. Toilet paper. Gotta have toilet paper. my cats didn't think I needed it. They got into it while I was going through my box, and they chewed that up better than a rat could have done. Oh, but it still worked. Yeah, yeah, it will still work. When all else fails, throw your deck of cards in there. Okay, keep yourself company if you're by yourself. If that ain't enough, throw you one of these in there. That will pass your day big time. And don't forget something to mark it with. So I got an ink pen in there. And wow. Means I'm on inhalers. I've got a pack of my Albatross uh, inhaler. You can use this chapstick. That come in handy, especially if you in a dry place. We almost done here. Paracord. This is paracord, what they used in the military to on the parachutes. It was the line that ran up to the chute. This is like $4 for 50 feet. So it's like what, penny a piece or a dime a piece, something like that. What? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you got your paracord. And then what else did I have here? Just a notebook. Keep track of things like your maps and whatever. And some bag full of pill bags. So I'll throw something small in there. I can do that. I'm done with that bag. Time to move on. And okay, what I want to show you next. Oh, my pocket knife. I didn't show you my pocket knife. I always carry a pocket knife. It's a one blade pocket knife. It's got a hole in it even, so you can put a lanyard through there. It's a lock blade too. I carry that day and night. It comes in real handy. Okay, I get this knife out of the way and that knife out of the way. Ow, the big one. The coffee can. Okay, it's just a 3-pound coffee can. It's a little big, but I got quite a bit of stuff in there. Now, I showed you it was packed full. In here, I have some heavy-duty trash bags, 4 of them. You could actually make a pup tent, lean tool. You can use it to cut a hole in the side and slip it over your head and pull your arms up. And you've got a poncho. So that'll work real handy. And then I have this red bandana, which you could use for a lot of things. You can filter water through it if it's got a lot of grass, dirt, or whatever in it. Drain it through that before you boil it. I also got this drinking cup in it, and I marked it off. So 1 cup, 2 cups. And inside the coffee cup, it's full. You can see there. Inside that, I have 10-foot paracord. Okay, come in handy. I have a whistle for signaling. paracord could be for shelter. I've got a big ladder for fire. I have some more char cloth in this little pill bottle. Enough fire to go for probably 6 days. And I have another ferro rod. This one is a magnesium block. And same as the other, you scrape off some of this. And then on this side, you've got your striker here. And here's my hacksaw blade I had made for that. Let me check this out. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why the other one didn't work. I filed down the teeth off of it, so there's no teeth on it. But you can see it spark. Okay. Then I got some hand sanitizer. Of course, this comes in more handy for other things too. You know, hand sanitizer will light. It's highly flammable. It's got enough alcohol in it. Just pour you out a drop, about enough to cover a quarter, and light it, and you got a little fire going. Here I got a paper clip with, I think it's 5 feet. It's duct tape, but I cut it in half. You know, duct tape's about that wide. I cut it, sliced it down the middle, and I wrapped both layers on there. And that come in handy for a lot of things. Little pieces, little patches. Get a little hole in your poncho, take a piece of that and stick it on there. Then I've got these little plastic dip cans. Them things come in handy for about anything. I mean, if it fit in there, you can use it. But this one here, I have magnifying glass. I think. Yeah, let me see. Got it all wrapped up. No, I have my signaling mirror. If I needed a signal for help, I could get that light to shine in there. There you go. I can signal for help. In the daytime, I don't think the moon gets bright enough to do any signaling. If it gets that bright, I don't care. Take me. So that's in that pouch, which comes in real handy. I say these things, you know, when you're empty, you wipe them out, clean them off. Still smells like wintergreen, though. I don't know anything to take the smell out of that from that wintergreen. Bleach, I tried bleaching it and everything else. And then I got me another set of shoestrings, boot strings. I just got wrapped up around there with a paper clip. That come in handy. Another can of dip. I have in here 50 foot of 8-pound test line fishing line on that little bitty thing. I have 5 little weights, clip-on, snap-on weights, and I have 5 fishing hooks. There we go. That is where the food comes in. If you're out there and there's any place close that might have fish, a little stream or something, take you a tree limb, cut it, I don't know, 7-8 foot long, trim all the branches off of it, take your fishing line and tie it to the end, you know, to your branch. And it should be as long as the branch is. So if you stand your branch up and bring it down to the bottom. That's where you want to cut it off. And then you put your hook on it and your weight, and you go looking for some bugs or uh, some worms under rocks, under logs, anywhere. There's all kind of bugs and creatures out there. You just grab your one, put it on the hook, and catch your supper. Yeah. I got some moleskin. It's a little patch of moleskin, and that is for if you have starting to get a blister on your foot, on your heel, on the bottom of your foot, side of your foot, or whatever. You just cut a piece off big enough to cover it, put you a hole in the middle of it where that blister is, so that when you stick this to your foot, you peel the back off and stick it on your foot, where it's starting to be sore, will it's like a cushion. I don't know, But anyway, instead of walking right onto that blister, you're walking on this, and it raises it a little bit off of the blister, so you don't hurt. I've got some Band-Aids. I've got 5 Band-Aids, 6 Band-Aids. I got 3 small and 3 large. And this one here, my wife just laughed at me. I got 2 quarters in there. Like I'm going to find a payphone out there in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, right. Well, somebody might be riding by on a bicycle selling candy bars for their school. Yeah, yeah. You never know. So that was in my bag. That's what I had in this. Oh, did anybody see the post where I asked what it was? If you knew what it was, let me put that on here. This here. Do you know what that is? How I made it? What it's for? Well, I'm going to show you. There I go. I'm going to show you. I took this coffee can and I punched me a hole in there. Not that big. And I punched one on the other side just like it. But this, I took a coat hanger and I bent it. Bent these little hooks up down at the bottom. And I put this little thing here at the top. You can see that. Yeah. But anyway, take your coffee can and put one end in the hole, and you put the other end in the hole. All this new stuff is hard to work with. There we go. There it is. Hang that over your fire to boil your water. And I was telling you a while ago that you had to have a way to cook your food and boil your water. Right there in that 2-pound coffee can. Hang it up, and this here piece at the top will keep it from sliding over. Okay? Well, that's about it. I got a couple pictures I'm going to throw up there. And let me shut off this share here. Okay, so if I go down here, I'm going to show you some of these pictures. Let me get there to myself here. baton it. Take your log, take your knife, put it on top like that, and you baton the edge of it down with another stick, a pretty good sized stick. Just set it on there and start beating on your knife with that, and it'll split that wood all the way down. And then you come over here and you split this side down, and then this side, and then this side, and you got dry wood. And you can baton or scrape the feathers on the stick. Sounds like something you find in a carnival on a stick, huh? Feathers on a stick. Okay, so let's see what's next here. Okay, here's 3 different ways to set your pot on the fire. Say, say this is your stick. Okay, and the end of it there, the end of this one. Let's do it this way. And right about here, you cut down, well, maybe a fourth of the way through the stick. Then you start back up here and you start cutting into the stick. And you're going to make, when you're done, it's going to look like an L in that stick. And that pot handle will hang right into that. Up here, you do a 7. Opposite side that you did the other one. A 7, you cut in here, you trim it up like that. And that one will hang over the stick that you got over your fire. And then on this side, your pot will hang here. I could get another video of that, or a picture of that or something. So anyway, another one. Wow, all kind of things going on here. So here's a quick rundown of what we've got. Let's see, we've been here an hour. Okay, you got your fire, everything you need for a fire. You need water. Well, that was another thing. Boil your water for your water. Or you can buy those little tablets, water purifiers. Or all else fails, carry a little bottle of bleach or iodine. And I'll tell you why, won't I? Yes. Okay, purifying water, bleach. Cold or murky water needs a little more disinfect, 4 drops per quart, than warm, clear water, 2 drops per quart. After after adding the chemical, Get the cough there. After adding the chemicals, put the lid back on your water container and shake it for a minute. Turn the bottle upside down and unscrew the cap a turn or two. Let a small amount of water flow out to clean the bottle's threads and cap. Screw the lid back on tight. Wipe the exterior of the bottle to get the chlorine on all surfaces. Set the bottle in a dark place or at least in the shade and let it sit for 30 minutes. If the water is clear at room temperature, that's 30 minutes if it's clear room temperature. When you open the bottle after the allotted time, it should smell like chlorine. If not, add another drop or two and wait another 30 minutes. And if you want to use iodine, use 5 to 10 drops of Tincture 2% iodine in a quart of water and allow it to sit in the shade for 30 minutes. Again, flush the threads and wipe down the bottle. Use 5 drops for clear or warm water and up to 10 for cold or cloudy water. All right, in the boiling, 5 minutes of rolling boil will kill most organisms, but 10 minutes is safer. Elevation high enough to affect boiling and cooking times will require slightly more time than for the flames. So I throw that in there. I think that's about it. We covered about everything there was there. Any questions? Any comments? I'm here. Let's see. You know what? I got to put all this stuff back in them cans the way they was. Oh boy. But yeah. Other than that, it's one of them days when you don't know what you need when you're out there. But like I said, I did have. Where you go? I did have this container, and it's not near as big as the other one, the coffee can. I mean, actually, it'll sit down in the coffee can, but it's a little taller. It's quite a bit smaller. And I run out of room. I didn't have room for my bandana and my trash bags. But it had the lid snaps on and is airtight. Actually, you can pop the lid open like do a Tupperware and push down on the lid and then pop it back over. That is airtight, watertight. You can't turn the lid while it's on there. But it just wasn't quite big enough. 10 ounce, what was it? I think it was a 10 ounce can is what I need to be comfortable. With the coffee can, that is a 3-pound coffee can, so I don't know how many ounces that is. But the can take a paracord, tie it on here, make it long enough, carry it on my back and my shoulder, have a paracord going around. But I can survive for 3-4 days with that container. With the big container I've got, there's a couple of things I don't have in them yet, and I'm not getting ready to put them in there. One's food. But in this little can, food is fish line snares for game and an 8-foot paracord on my wrist. There's 8 feet of paracord on my wrist right there. Just made that yesterday. And I like it. Never know when you need 8 feet of paracord. anyway, you just take all this food, and the food is canned food, protein bars, instant food, coffee, tea, sugar, MREs, spork, small can opener, bowl, plate, skillet, mess kit, and spices. Now that would go in a big container. But like I said, I could probably have room to throw a couple of those energy bars in there. If I couldn't catch a fish or catch a rabbit with my snare, at least I'd have an energy bar to eat till the next day. Alrighty. Compact as small container or pack as you can for easy carrying. Always leave a map where you're going. Now, this is if you're out there on a hike, you want to go somewhere for the weekend and camp out 2 nights in the forest, or even anywhere. Always leave a map of where you're going, the route you're taking, when you plan to return, and leave it with a family or friend. Yeah, that way, if you say you're going here, here, and then back to here, and then you're going to come back to here, to here, to here, you get it. Draw it out on a map and leave it with your family. Tell them when you expect to be back. If you expect to be back at Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not back by 6. They need to call someone. Let them know where they at. Now, phone's okay if you got signal or if the battery's up. Well, I mean, that's the best thing for a phone or GPS. And other than that, like I say, you got to go to the map and compass, and you can look up online videos how to read a compass, how to read a map, how to read a compass on a map, how to pinpoint where you are, and how to get back. It's a little hard studying. I mean, it's not real hard, but I learned. Anybody else could. I have to brush myself up on it every once in a while because I kind of forget, little odd and end things that's important. But I mean, it's nothing like starting over. It's just, oh yeah, I remember that part now. Things like that. Well, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Been an hour and 15 minutes gone by. I thank you for sticking through it for this hour and 15 minutes. It's important stuff, though. What's an hour and 15 minutes compared to losing your life out there and not knowing what to do? Okay. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you next week with another topic here on my podcast radio from Smoking, Grilling, Dutch Oven, Pit, and Survival. Till then, stay safe.